Hi, welcome to my Teresa talk, Finding Our Way with Aquarius, and it'll be followed by a group meditation and discussion. I'm a long-term student of the ancient wisdom teachings, and I have a strong, heartfelt desire to raise people's understanding, their conscious awareness, and empower them to make very practical changes in their life that this understanding naturally evokes. In short, to facilitate the spiritualization of matter in whatever way I can. And this is a very Aquarian notion, as you'll come to see. So the Aquarius New Moon for 2021 reached its zenith early this morning in the UK at 5:45 a.m. So we're right in the heart of the energy now. I'll just run through a couple of things that will help with the talk. The esoteric ruler of Aquarius is Jupiter, a very benevolent, expansive Ray 2 love wisdom energy. Its orthodox ruler is Uranus, a very mental planet, development of the mind, a very revolutionary planet. The main rays to pour through Aquarius is the 7th ray of ceremonial magic and order. That's about 40%. Ray 5 of science and knowledge, and a bit of ray 4, harmony through conflict in there. So the keynote for Aquarius is water of life am I, poured forth for thirsty men. And this water is not the water as we have on the earth, but it's the water of knowledge and the revelation of truth. So the water of life is a celestial fluid, or you could think of it as an etheric force or a life force energy. So that changes that meaning quite a lot. So when I sought inner guidance on what to speak of today, I realized that right here and now, people are feeling confused, overwhelmed, lost in a world they no longer recognize, and in many cases are not sure they want to be part of. There is the temptation to shut yourself away and hibernate until it all goes away or life is restored to something you're familiar with or can cope with. And this is your personality reacting to what has been going on. Yet there is also an awareness that comes from your higher self and invokes your human spirit. This feeling that you want to find a way, find your way, and help us all to find our way through this that's going on now to something better than what we were once familiar with. To be able to harness the courage and the compassion of your heart, rather than succumb to the fears of your mind. I realized that in Aquarius, there is a beautifully synergistic, unique combination of forces, energies, and understandings that can really help us all find our way. So this unique opportunity that we have each year to tap into Aquarius at this time of year, to tap into these powerful forces, enables us to connect with our highest soul-directed purpose, to develop personal freedom and liberation from restrictions, both the external forces of conformity and control, but also the internal thoughts, ideas, and ideals that no longer serve us, and to find our place in the collective evolution of this transformation of humanity. And this is accelerated under this sign. Now, this may sound like an impossibly lofty aspiration, but each and every one of us has a vital role to play and a valuable contribution to make. We know the power of a beautiful symphony to lift us up into higher dimensions when each and every instrument and each and every note is played just when it's needed. And so I assure you, your note is much needed right now. Right here and now in our world, we need every single person who is open, awake, and aware of the massive change we're going through to become part of the solution. In Aquarius, you can find your way back onto the path directed by your higher self, especially if you know you've given in to despair, the fear-producing collective narrative, and find your truth again, aligned with your highest ideals, following your soul aspiration. To find your way individually is to play your part in finding our way collectively. So now let's explore the energies that pour through Aquarius. And these forces are accentuated during the phase of the year when our sun is passing through this sign. So we're feeling them right now. So if we lift up to the very highest perspective, remember from a broader point of view, we are moving into the age of Aquarius and out of the age of Pisces. And this influence of Aquarius is slowly building and growing on a grand scale as the influences of Pisces wane. But at the moment, we have both energies present. And I believe this drama we're witnessing on our planet at this time is part of the conflict, the friction created by the completely different energies and ideologies of these two great forces. And it's really the friction between the old and the new. So Pisces is an age where truth was hidden and the life or spirit descended into the depths of materialism. It was concealed beneath the waters. That's the Pisces, the waters. And this is symbolic of the emotions. And this is the waters of the earth, or we could say the waters of our physical body. There's an emphasis on the material world and material values, but a much needed purification and cleansing. This is why so many of the religions in Pisces have rites of passage that involve purification, cleansing. And as much needed in Pisces, a reorientation from the world of matter to higher spiritual values. So in Pisces, we saw human consciousness develop and an explosion of knowledge and the development of the intellectual mind and all of the resulting technological advances that we enjoy today. But we also witnessed the expression of fanatical devotion, idealism. It was the birth of a lot of the conflict in the world today. And mankind looked very much in Pisces to higher authorities like the state or the church to rule and dictate how we think, to determine our connection to divinity, and basically to determine how we live our lives. And this materially based hierarchical power structure is the basis of our society today. And this is what's being challenged at the moment. So most people on the planet today is still very what we call astrally polarized. That is, they live their lives ruled by their emotional desire nature, rather than using their discriminative, detached thinking capacity to question these desires and to question their emotional reactions to life. We feel more than we think, but we call this thinking. Although there are many who are starting to develop the capacity to what I call truly think, to be independent thinkers. But this leaves this sort of being polarized astrally in the emotional desire nature leaves most people open to being easily manipulated by powerful thinkers who understand the psychology of the personality, but perhaps are still rooted in those material values and the values of power and control that was so reminiscent, I would like to say, of Pisces. However, many today are becoming increasingly sensitive to the inpouring energies of Aquarius. And this enables the emergence of the human mind from the darkness of ignorance into the light of truth. And there emerges an understanding of ideas of unity, cooperation, synthesis, growth, and a dawning of the realization that all men are our brothers, and an increasing awareness of our unity our connection, and of our own divinity. There's a gradual shift from the development of individual consciousness in Pisces to the desire to work consciously in groups toward what we call right relations that encompass right thought, right intention, and right action. And this comes from an expansion of consciousness and from this divine connection. We come together in groups increasingly, and we've seen this in the last 2 years. I've seen this just on my phone, on my computer, the increasing number of groups who are coming together with a united purpose. For example, the truck convoys in Canada that have caused an explosion of truck convoys mandating for freedom and questioning the hierarchical power control structures that have been at work during this pandemic and seem to be holding on to that control when it's time to go, time to release people back to freedom. And we've seen this throughout history. We've seen this coming together and realizing the power of groups. We saw it in the civil rights movement. We've seen it in Gandhi's passive resistance movement. We've seen it throughout history, right through the revolutions. And it's brought us to the point we are now, where we have human rights and freedoms. But right here and now, they are being severely challenged. So what we're seeing is an expression of the seventh ray of magic through order that pours through Aquarius. And as mankind integrates, coordinates, and brings into harmony all aspects of his being, he becomes a powerful vehicle for soul expression. And this is, when we talk about magic, we're not talking about sort of magic wands and spells. We're talking about the magic that occurs when the soul energy is able to pour through the personality vehicle. So there's this ordering and integrating. And this relates to us all individually, but also to the collective body of man, of which each of us is a cell. So in Aquarius, there is a breaking down of these crystallized control structures and a gradual understanding of the truth of our divine nature, and that we don't need to be controlled by other people. There is something inherent within us that directs and guides us. There is a desire for the free circulation of life in Aquarius, the free interchange and sharing of all that is needed for right human living. It's no coincidence that the really down-to-earth people who ultimately have really stirred things up in Canada and across the globe. We're seeing truck convoys in just in many countries in Europe and New Zealand and the Americas, that they were involved in the circulation of our resource energies. So truck drivers are part of our circulation and distribution network. And that's very Aquarian energy to challenge those Piscean control structures. So in our time, right here and now, this circulation of life energy, of freedom, free circulation of interchange and sharing of ideas is blocked. It's congested by ideas and ideals that no longer serve the many, but are founded on control and the material gain for the few. This is why we're seeing increasing diseases of the bloodstream. And it's no coincidence that a virus that affects this free circulation of the blood has brought the world to a standstill. It is also no coincidence that the vaccination that is being mandated by Piscean governing bodies also affects the bloodstream and the free flow of the life force energy. And from my own perspective, affects the energy field of those who are vaccinated. At the same time, we're witnessing the suppression and the censorship of any alternative points of view, any scientific research that goes against the narrative of power structures in our society. There's no debate with consensus from independent sources. Very little hands-on device about how to boost our own immunity and how to enhance our own life force energy flow. You would think that that would be a natural response to a pandemic, a virus that affects us in this way. So despite legal, medical, ethical challenges and the protests of thousands of people, this narrative is still the consensus. It is the crystallized thought form that many have simply adopted without question, or because they've been brainwashed by fear. Fear stops the flow of life force energy in your body. It depletes your vitality. Fear is held in our bodies in the kidneys, the organ that purifies our blood and ensures its healthy flow. So physically, fear creates stagnation and congestion and eventually toxification of our physical bodies. And this is happening on a planetary scale. The flow of blood in our body equates with the flow of emotions. Again, when our heart is open and free, we emote freely, and this cleanses and heals our heart chakra energies. This free expression of our emotions augments emotional cleansing, and the resulting illumination enables us to maintain a state of love and connection and joyful living. Fear isolates. It creates a them, us. It creates a culture of scarcity. It's them or me, survival of the fittest. And fear closes our heart chakra so that we become selfish, self-centered, afraid to express how we feel, especially if it doesn't align with the common narrative, if we have a different point of view. And this leads to increasing rates of anxiety, depression, and mental health issues. Fear depletes our will, our determination, our courage, and shuts down our higher mind and discriminatory capacity until we stop questioning and we become vulnerable to coercion and manipulation and will accept anything we are told to alleviate this painful state, fearful state of our lower mind. And this is the basis for the Piscean control of the masses. In early centuries, it was the fear of God's wrath. Today, it's the fear of the loss of your way of life. But the redeeming of energies of Aquarius are there for us to tap into. Water of life am I, poured forth for thirsty men. The keynote is about the distribution and free flow of energy. Remember that water of life is the celestial fluid. It's the etheric force, your life force energy poured forth for thirsty men through knowledge and illumination. Remember, the time of the new moon is a powerful time for change, for re-envisioning. In the dark nights before the sliver of the moon is visible, we have the opportunity to go inward, to access our intuitive understanding and guidance. And often what's revealed is what stands in the way of our healing and our own transformation. And as the moon reappears in the night sky, we are filled with hope and determination and an impetus to perhaps modify or alter our direction, implement the needed changes and connect with others who are equally in tune with their true self and the lunar cycles. To be interested in this talk and meditation today means that is you. And we are part of a growing group of humanity who are drawn to work in this way. Jupiter is the esoteric ruler of Aquarius. I love this planet. It's so bountiful with the second ray expression of love, wisdom, and a capacity to know you are one with all that is and one with your fellow man. In Jupiter, we experience freedom and the free flow of energy, giving us the capacity to look beyond limiting beliefs and viewpoints and expand into new ideas and new possibilities. Jupiter sparks our courage. Aquarius has a deep love of freedom and independence and enables us through Jupiter to connect with love and realize that the fear is an illusion of the mind. As we respond to the Aquarian need and desire to help others, we find our capacity to pour this love forth for our thirsty fellow travelers on the path. Through the supportive energy of Jupiter, we're able to go inward and connect with our intuitive wisdom, seek guidance from our soul. And at this time of the new moon is a perfect time to spend, if you can, in solitude and soul contemplation. Your soul speaks to you. It speaks to us all of the time, but it's only when we quiet our mind through a mindful connection to life, through prayer or through meditation, that we're able to hear her voice. The expansive qualities of Jupiter will foster a great breadth of perception and thought and open you to a greater understanding of your truth and the note you are being asked to play. This will be heartfelt, gut-felt, passionate, and vital, rather than an idea you explore with your critical, analytical thinking. It's visceral. Jupiter encourages us to seek like-minded, like-vibrational energy souls and come together to put our love into action. I've witnessed an explosion in response to our world situation. There are many, many groups working, as we do in this group, toward the emancipation of our planet and all its peoples. Aquarius is group conscious and loves groups. And as we learn how to work effectively in groups as a soul, not as a personality, that's where all the dramas and conflicts that often destroy good group work come up, their personality. Our soul knows we are united and knows how to work in a group. You may find yourself being pulled to find a group that resonates with your energy, your ideals, and brings you into contact with like-minded, heart-centered, soul-directed others. Follow this impetus and find your tribe. In groups, we find support, love, willpower, and wisdom that will inspire what Philip Lindsay, the esoteric astrologer, says, a new courage contagion. Uranus, the orthodox ruler of Aquarius, is another powerful force we can tap into. And Uranus enables great insights, groundbreaking revelations, and expansions of our mind and understanding. As an air sign, this influence in Aquarius will be all-pervasive and interpenetrating. Uranus is the radical, the nonconformist, the awakener who shakes things up, the revolutionary. By channeling the seventh ray energy and its potential to spiritualize matter and shift us collectively toward radical change and the reordering of all aspects of our lives, we can tune into this powerful energy to create positive change. Like the worldwide, the workers who have stood up to the vaccine mandates and held their ground, and in most countries had really positive results in undoing that Piscean power structure. Like the truckers, like all the people who have protested for human rights and for freedom and for the free flow of energy, for the free flow of independent thinking, for debate from independent sources. So Uranus brings illumination and higher group consciousness and purpose, and is bringing insights into what is happening in our human family, of the shifts, especially of our etheric energy in conscious individuals. We are shifting from three-dimensional energies to higher dimensions, and the associated changes are starting to happen to our DNA. And you can read more about this. It's no coincidence that the vaccine affects DNA. And there's an awareness that major shifts are approaching in the future collectively. So the predominant ray energies that pour through Aquarius are the 7th ray of ceremonial magic and order that I've mentioned, but also the 5th ray of knowledge and science. It is this ray that encourages us to seek the truth, to question, to debate, to read widely, and use our discriminative mind to ascertain as best as we can as much truth as we can comprehend, to enable our lower mind to become a channel for the higher mind, where insights and illuminations and understandings beyond our critical and our analytical mind, understandings to come through. And also then the higher mind becomes a channel for the wisdom of our higher self. We combine the right use of our intellect with an opening to our intuition, and together these bring revelation. You know when something isn't right, or if you're only being presented with half the truth or a perversion of the truth. You can feel it. It's literally a gut feel. You sense it. You know, you might not know what the truth is, but you know that's not quite the full truth. What has astounded me through the last 2 years is the complete loss of what I would call common sense. People have accepted things that just don't add up, or to me are obviously being reported in a way that seeks to support an agenda that is questionable. Many, though, are waking up, and this is wonderful to see, starting to question. And I am thrilled. I probably receive, between 7 and 10 new videos daily from various groups I'm part of, and organizations seeking to expose the truth. And more organizations are growing and coming into being all the time. And this is in response to these energies of Aquarius. So find your way through all of this information and misinformation. And if it is all too overwhelming, then follow your heart, your gut, and your feeling of what does or doesn't feel right, good, and true. This will align you with your soul that always knows the truth. The wonderful thing, though, about our collective experience of the last 2 years is that we have shown that we can reorganize and change the world completely in just a few months. And this is the incoming 7th ray, order, magic through order. And this can be planet-wide. So imagine what we can do as more people wake up and become soul conscious, learning to stay in connection with the present moment, with each other, with truth, and with our highest aspirations, living each moment directed by their higher self in touch with divinity. Imagine as more and more people operate in this way. If we can reorder the world in just a few months, we can change things. We can change the way we interact with our planet. We can change the way we educate. We can change the way our systems of banking work, our politics work, our power structures work. We can change it all if we want to. This is the key to finding our way. And as we experience the tough challenges of the transition that we're in, from where we were to where we want to be, do not let go of your dreams. Hold a vision of your life and hold a vision of the world as you would like it to be. Build that vision daily. Let go of anything that questions your vision and allow a deep gratitude to fill your being as you envision this aspiration, knowing that this will manifest the path you need to follow to get there. Gratitude opens the door to that path. It's a moment by moment choice. And my advice to people at the moment, the most important thing you can do is to keep your vibrational energy high. Okay. And this is through living mindfully. And if you want to know more about it, I have a video on YouTube. Mindfulness is a spiritual practice that explores how living mindfully raises your vibration and keeps you in touch with truth. By connecting with nature and our planet, grounding your energy, by living with an open heart, compassion, gratitude, by learning to forgive. You know, if Desmond Tutu, his legacy to us would be he taught us about the power of forgiveness. This is that forgiveness was one of the really positive things that we didn't quite get in the age of Pisces, but we can still get it yet to truly understand the power of forgiveness and the human heart. Connect with your true self, connect with your soul, spend that time, meditate, contemplation, be governed by your intuition. Release fear and negative energies whenever you become aware of them. Tune out of sources of fear and negative energies and tune into sources. A healthy diet for your body and a healthy mind diet for your mind. And this, connect with others of like mind, like soul. Find your tribe. So letting go gives us freedom. And freedom is the only condition for happiness. And that's individually and collectively. If in our heart we still, this is Thich Nhat Hanh, beautiful wisdom. If in our heart we still cling to anything, anger, anxiety, or possessions, we cannot be free. So avoid energies that divide, that label them and us. When you touch one thing with deep awareness, you touch everything. Another quote by Thich Nhat Hanh. So let go of the need to change other people's minds and live by example, and then you will touch their soul, because we are all connected at that soul level. So this is my understanding of finding our way in Aquarius. We tune in to finding our way individually, and that helps us all to find our way collectively as we each sound that note that's needed for the whole symphony. And then there'll be a beautiful flow as we just ride those waves of change, those beautiful harmonies, and we flow from, where we are now to where we want to be. So thank you. So now what I want to do is I want to move into the group meditation. And this affirmation of love is a way of coming together, aligning our souls and coming together in a group with combined and focused group intention. And this is a very Aquarian affirmation or mantra that was given to mankind to be used at this time. So as you repeat the words, feel the energy in your heart. Okay. So in the center of all love, I stand. From that center, I, the soul, will outward move. From that center, I, the one who serves, will work. May the love of the divine self be shed abroad in my heart, through my group, and throughout the world. And now I want to go into meditation. So just get yourself comfortable, sitting upright, feet on the floor, hands gently in your lap. Just close your eyes. And I want you to imagine that you're sending a connection down into our Mother Earth. either through your feet or through the base chakra at the very bottom of your spine, or through both. So just grounding our energy, connecting to this beautiful planet. And now I want to bring our awareness into the present moment. So just be aware of your body sitting on the chair. Be aware of the feeling of the clothes on your skin. And now take this awareness to your sense of hearing. And just allow the sounds in the room in this moment to come into your awareness. Now gently take this awareness to your breath. And just simply watch your body breathe in and watch your body breathe out. With each breath, just feel as if the breath is going a little deeper. And you're opening a space in the center of your chest, between the sternum and the spine, gently opening your heart. Now allow this feeling of opening to continue until it feels comfortable to breathe into your belly. As you breathe out, your tummy comes back towards your spine. Nice, slow, deep breaths. And now just take your awareness to the breath and let it take you inward, keeping a gentle focus on your breath. Feel your body beginning to relax. As you open that channel down through the very center of your body. Continue to focus on the breath and just allow thoughts to pass. Returning to the breath whenever your mind is distracted. Now again, bring your awareness to the center of your chest. And focus on breathing into your heart center. Imagining that your heart is filling with light and with love and with gratitude that will open this center. And it opens gently and naturally like a flower bud opens into full bloom. Affirm a connection with your higher self, your soul, through your heart. Now in your mind, visualize white or violet purple, perhaps gold light coming down from your higher self through the crown of your head. And it's going to move down through all the major energy centers or chakras in your body. Bringing them into a perfect vertical alignment and interplay of energy. Imagine that your heart is acting as a vessel to receive and distribute this lighted love coming from your higher self, and to distribute it throughout your physical body. Imagine your whole physical body filling with this purifying, cleansing, healing light, strengthening your health, your immune system, calming your emotions and bringing clarity to your mind, uniting your whole self into one being of light. And allow that light to flow out into your etheric body that surrounds your physical body like an aura. Now imagine that this lighted love is flowing from you out into your home, touching all those you live with, all living beings in your home, your family. And now allow it to flow out into your street, your neighborhood, your community, touching the hearts and minds of all, either consciously or unconsciously. As you open to receive this lighted love from your higher self, radiate it out into, encompass your whole town or city. There is an abundant supply. Now imagine that your lighted love is connecting to the light of all those joining us in this group meditation, whether live or via the recording. And together we can easily light up and fill this nation. Now imagine that this lighted love is flowing out to fill all of this part of the world. To fill the whole of the Northern Hemisphere. And then to fill the Southern Hemisphere, so that together we can encompass the whole of the world. Know that we join with all groups of people who are working with the light in this way, and especially those who meditate in the energy of the new moon. Now see our planet as if from space, and see this lighted love surrounding her like an aura. And imagine it is flowing down into our planet, healing her, restoring the balance in nature, so that the air and the waters are clean and pure. She has a healthy ozone layer, and our beautiful home is healed and restored. See all of the animal and plant life flourishing. And see this lighted love flowing into the hearts and minds of all of mankind. See it dissolving fear. See it bringing peace, unity, goodwill, and right relations both within individuals, between individuals, within families, communities, and nations, between nations, uniting the whole human family, lifting our awareness and the collective consciousness so that we can learn to live in peace and harmony with all. Visualize these energies unifying and eliminating all divisions within humanity, healing and transforming human consciousness, and establishing right human relations. Continue to hold a space in your heart for this energy and allow it to radiate out, holding the vision in your mind. Just experience the power of working in the Aquarian group consciousness. And now I invite you to repeat the great invocation together, either silently or aloud. Repeat it with conviction. This is an Aquarian prayer. And we have a pause between each stanza to imagine the words being played out. And that this word prayer will act as a link between the inner spiritual realities and humanity, and as a channel through which divine light, love, and purpose can flow into human consciousness. So let us repeat it together. from the point of light within the mind of God. Let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Ooh. 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 Now slowly bring your energy back into your own energy field. And come back into an awareness of your body, sitting in the room. Take a nice deep breath in and just keeping your eyes closed for a moment. Just starting to move and stretch. And when you first open your eyes, I want you to open your eyes with awareness. In that moment of opening your eyes, I want you to be consciously aware of the room, using all of your senses to be completely present in that moment. So just opening your eyes when you're ready. Lovely. When we come out of meditation in that way and we set an intention to be mindful in that moment of coming out, we see the world through the eyes of our soul. So we see the world as it is. And it's a very good way to practice coming out of a meditation because it centers you in this moment, takes you out of your thinking mind, and you are present, witnessing life as a soul. So that's my talk today. I hope there's been some good things to think about, maybe some more understanding in true Aquarian style, and that it sparks some illumination, and that lovely new moon energy supports you in any change that you desire to make, any aspirations that become clear to you as you find your way and therefore sound your note that enables us all to find our way. So thank you very much. Namaste.